Aries. For Aries, Mars going in Purva Ashadha in the 9th house makes you invincible, gives you a lot of power and control. With the power of Sun, Venus and Mercury, Mars in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra, which is basically a Venus Nakshatra, will ensure that you do things with a lot of charm, lot of flexibility, and with 9th house, energies coming into play. This will also help you defend your fortress with a lot of might. So it is a power given right in your hands so that you can recover, and with a lot of faith, with a lot of confidence, you will be able to move mountains this time. A short phase of Mars transit is here to remind you about your core strength. The problem is that Mars is combust. So unless you hear through such videos, or unless you actually somebody tells you, you won't realize your true strength. This is the time to correct mistakes from the past, undo things, recognize your core strength, get back with positive relationship with gurus, fathers and teachers, and ensure that you are traveling. Your travel plans are planned well in advance with proper itinerary, proper financial planning. There can be a sudden change in your plan, a sudden change in the viewpoint. Mars in the 9th house is also going to make you defend your viewpoint in a big way. So good for debates, good for IAS, IPS preparation, or if you are an officer, it is good for trekking, mountaineering, or very good for people who are involved in adventure sports or anything that is associated with sports field. Just ensure that when you are pushing forward your viewpoint, don't make it too dominated, too violent. You also need to understand the other person's point of view. Good time to solve relationship with your cousins. For Taurus, Mars transit in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra will happen in your 8th house. 8th house Purva Ashadha transit makes you fight all the odds and gives you a weird strength to face the deepest, darkest fears of your life. This nakshatra itself is ruled by Apaha Devi, that means the goddess of primordial waters. This means you are able to control your emotions in a very, very strong way. It is good for people who are working with sensitive data. It is good for people who are in development, engineering, core technology sector. Or if you are preparing for these fields, it's very, very positive for you. When Mars enters this Venusian nakshatra, it makes things very creative. It gives you never settle attitude. It gives you never give up attitude. And this never giving up gives you the platform to rise and build better finances. So decisions taken for partnership, joint assets with your life partner, decisions taken for insurance cover about anything, that will be very good for you. So think about it. If your office is not insured, maybe this is the right time. 8th house is also about occult. So Mars in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra ensures that you are also using your core inner strength. This is also good for people who are involved in physical sports such as martial arts, such as karate, judo. This will help you build your core muscles, and also maybe you will win medals for the nation. Overall, Mars transit in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra in the 8th house creates unique level of creativity, something that is hidden deep within you. If you want to discover your deep talent, if you want to discover what is that one thing that really makes you, this can be the time. This will also trigger a Vipareet Raj Yoga. So invest wisely. New business partnership can be possible. In fact, you can start a cafe with your wife. Gemini. Now in case of Gemini, Mars transit in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra happens in your 7th house. 7th house is about business, but Mars has no business in 7th house. So what should Mars do in such a nakshatra? It gives you ideas to fortify your business. It makes you very defensive. It gives you ideas to how to dominate the mass, how to dominate in the world in a positive way. Now remember, Venus is there in the 7th house, Sun is there in the 7th house. You might ignore some of the criticism or guidance that is coming in your way. Don't do that. Also, Mars in Purva Ashadha may help you get justice in marriage if you are facing any issues. Also, this brings a new business partnership, something that may last for lifetime. This is what you should look forward to. Mars in a unique watery nakshatra gives you a kind of an energy cocktail. So you will be always on the hyperdrive. Maybe the ideas of the business, maybe the feedback of the people is always keeping you on the toes, which is a good thing. If you are involved in energy drink, coffee, tea or similar kind of liquids or consumables that interacts with energy in your body, I think your business will rise bright during this time. For Cancer zodiac sign or Cancer ascendant or even moon sign, if you see, Mars is now in the most powerful position, even in combustion, in the 6th house in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra. This nakshatra helps you fight your enemies, stare into their soul and win. If you are having any tantric problem, supernatural obstacles, energy obstacles coming your way, you need to work on your root chakra, and praying to Mata Baglamukhi is going to be a very good remedy, obviously under the guidance of a Siddha Guru. Praying to Bhagwan Hanuman in general, chanting Hanuman Chalisa 11 times a day will be very, very helpful for young people who are always high on energy. It will help you regulate your energy. People practicing for competitive examination will see great success. And if you are preparing for army, forces, police or any similar defense related things, examination, if you want to build your career there, or if you are involved already as a businessman or as a service personnel, I think you will find that you are recognized, you are well received and your energy are put to good use. You will see high productivity during this time. Just ensure one thing: if you are in the field of sports or if you are playing your sports, the chance of injuries can be also very high. You may ignore few things. You may also end up taking more debt during this time. If you have Mars Rahu or Mars Saturn conjunction, avoid taking debts until Mars reaches Capricorn. For Leo, Mars transit in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra will happen in the 5th house. A 5th house Mars transit definitely gives you a lot of potential. It builds up the productivity of life. Remember, for Leo, Mars rules your 9th house, and that means 9th and 4th Lord is in 5th house. In Purva Ashadha, it empowers you. It makes you confident. It makes you bold, expressive, assertive, and whatever you say will be said with a lot of conviction. But avoid ego, because your ascendant Lord is dominating over the 9th Lord and 3rd Lord Venus is caught in between. That means sometimes what happens when you are saying with conviction, you may end up becoming an arrogant person. Don't do that. This is a good time to establish new romantic connections, but with politeness. See, Purva Ashadha is the nakshatra of Shukra. It gives you victory, but what comes before Purva Ashadha? Mula Nakshatra. When Mars is moving in Purva Ashadha, where is the ruler of Purva Ashadha? Venus in Mula Nakshatra. That means once you want to fight and wants to win, must know your core strength and weakness. It's a very good time for people who are trying to examine their life, who wants to dig deep into their true talents, true strength, and wants to know their limitation. It's a good time for karmic readings also as per astrology. When Mars is in the 5th house and Venus becomes powerful in the chart, in the horoscope, it gives you high productivity, high quality of life, money comes in your way. So if your Venus is positive, I think you should look forward to some very good time. For Virgo, Virgo will experience a Mars transit, a kind of a real estate magic in the 4th house. Mars in the Purva Ashadha Nakshatra gives you victory and justice if there is some sort of problem related to real estate. Well, here my recommendation will be to be very polite, be gentle in your approach. Mars will aspect your 10th house, so it may make you a little edgy. It may want you to push towards action, especially when you are at rest. The inertia of motion is very high. It does not allow you to rest. It does not allow you to settle. This may affect your health, especially your heart health. Be very mindful. Stress-free life is going to be the way ahead. Always strive for the best. Mars in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra wants you to think about victory. You will not settle down unless you win, which is good, but it should not be always on your head, otherwise you will end up taking revenge. So this is the time where 4th house energies is more about building a house for you, building a fort around you. So be very defensive. This is a defensive transit. And in this case, praying to Mata Durga by chanting Om Durgaya Namaha will be a very, very good remedy for all Virgo ascendant and moon sign. Good time for people who are working from home and good time for people who are working in automotive industry. For Libra, Mars transit is happening in the 3rd house. And Purva Ashadha Nakshatra, the one with the invincible one, the Mars, when it moves into this nakshatra of Venus, your creativity comes with passion. This makes you passionate. This makes you to move with a lot of conviction, lot of force. But be very careful, Mars is combust. So a lot of time what will happen is that you will think about your talent. You would want to do a lot of things. You will plan, but you may not able be, you'll not be able to execute something. You need to be very mindful of this. When you're planning something, go ahead and try to build your future on top of that. You have to execute it, you have to do it, because combust Mars will not do it by itself. Remember, Sun is also there. You may end up discussing your ideas with someone and you may have high hopes, but the reality may be different. So you need to be practical. This is the time to remain more grounded. Any act of any imaginary decisions, assumptions will be very negative. Mars in the 3rd house is good for solving relationship with your siblings, with your brothers, with your sisters. Mars here gives you good opportunity to build a new startup. Creative ideas will flow through your mind and you will be able to do a lot during this transit. Mars also can trigger travel. Mars can also create a situation where through your own action and taking matters under your control, you will be able to resolve issues in your marriage and business. Naturally, factors which are external to you will attract your attention more. Spend quality time with your friends, but ensure that you're not wasting your time over anything. For Scorpio, this is about your ascendant lord, Mangal. Mars going in the 2nd house. A 2nd house Mars with Venus in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra is very good for financial growth. Few days are enough to create a financial plan for your life. You want to discuss with a consultant, with a CA, with a financial consultant, this can be the time. You want to solve issues related to finances in the family, you may create a plan. You may want to take a term plan during this time. You may want to take an insurance, a life insurance, a health insurance during this time. Mars in the 2nd house becomes defensive in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra and wants to protect the family, and you will take necessary steps to protect yourself and your family because Mars is also aspecting the 8th house. Now Mars here can be very good to create a sudden change in your financial status, maybe a new job coming your way, maybe a new positive gain coming your way, especially if you're doing a business. But because Mars from the 2nd house will aspect the 9th house with the 8th aspect, you should not try something that involves a lot of luck. People who want to gain quick money should be very careful. Mars is combust. And for Scorpio, your ascendant lord is Mars, but so is your 6th lord. 6th house lord is in the 2nd house in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra. Actually, this is the time to be defensive and resolve the family issues by clearing off the debt, reducing the burden on the family, focusing on getting a stable job. But this is all what Mars can give you in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra. But be very careful with your diet. Be very mindful with the food that you eat. Coming to Sagittarius, Sagittarius will see a Mars in Purva Ashadha in the 1st house, making you rigid, strong, confident, bold, but with some doubts. Why doubt? Because Surya, Sun will come and dominate the Mangal. Sun in the sign of Sagittarius, Venus in the sign of Sagittarius, both being in the Mula Nakshatra, will make you rethink on a lot of decisions that you want to take. If you go one step at a time with extensive planning, backup plans, you will excel. You will create something so beautiful that is kind of a foolproof, especially if you're running a business. Mars in the 1st house in this nakshatra creates a new wave of thought process. It changes the way you think. It wants you to win. To win whatever is necessary, you will do that. You will bring your attention towards ingredients that will actually give you something positive in life. Mars being fire, Purva Ashadha Nakshatra being nourishment, it's a very good time for people who are in hotel industry, who wants to open restaurants, who wants to be a chef, or who wants to cook food for your own benefit. A diet plan is very much necessary at this point of time. Now, first house Mars can also be a Mars that can make you very proud of something. It can make you very egoistic. If you want this Mars to function well, you have to mix both fire and water. Drink lukewarm water every morning if possible for you. And whenever you feel highly stressed or tensed, just listen to Hanuman Chalisa. Understand life by understanding the life of Bhagwan Hanuman, because he is the one with great strength, but he has surrendered to Prabhu Ram. Similar way, you need that surrender. Mars in this nakshatra is one of the best placement of Mars, but due to the watery energies of Purva Ashadha Nakshatra and due to the feminine quality of Venus, Mars here has to compromise. It can't be the brute strength, but it can be a very fertile energy, an energy that blossoms from within. In fact, this can help you correct your root chakra. So root chakra meditation is recommended. For Capricorn, this is going to be a Mars transit in the 12th house. Now remember, the future is where Mars enters Capricorn. So this is the time when you will feel restless when Mars is in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra. You would want to achieve, you would plan, you will strategize, and this is exactly what you should do. This is not the time to execute anything with 4 planets in your 12th house. This is the time to focus more on strategy, more on planning, more on designing. This is to think creative. Anyone who is in creative industry, advertising industry, anyone who is in marketing, sales, or anybody who is in a kind of a cosmetic industry, whether it is pharmaceutically connected or just makeup industry, you will be able to achieve a lot with this Mars in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra. Anyone who is selling energy boosters, energy drinks will also become very positive. If you are planning to launch, say, a kind of a industry or some medicine product which is more liquid in nature, pain relief medicines, essential oils, Ayurvedic products, you will see great boost, sudden boost when Mars enters Purva Ashadha Nakshatra. But this can increase unnecessary expenses, by the way. Now for Capricorn, Mars is very important planet because Mangal is your 4th lord. 4th lord is Mars, 11th lord is Mars, and it goes in the 12th house in Purva Ashadha. It can create court battles related to property and money. Money related things can disturb the peace of mind and can make you travel to places from one place to the other. Be very careful. Avoid any negative interaction with people and try to remain calm. This is the time to release the negative energy through water therapy. So take a glass of water in front of you, chant Om Hanumate Namah, Om Hanumate Namah 108 times. Just pick up the glass with both hands and speak something positive. Put forward your positive desire and then drink that water. And imagine that all the negativity is getting away, out from your body. For Aquarius, this is going to be a brilliant Mars transit in the 11th house in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra, making you win all battles. This is all out gain for you. Some things that you may not see immediately, something that may not happen immediately, but will happen over a period of time, considering that Mars is combust. You need to wait for some time and you will see the brilliant side of this Mars transit in the upcoming days. This is good time to interact with friends. This is good time to expand your network circle, and obviously a very good time to gain profits from business. Now, because Mars is your 3rd lord in the 11th house in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra, it is going to be a time to take initiatives, take matters in your own hand, but silently, not like on the face, dominating, trying to take control, but this is more about subtle management of situation without being nosy on the face. So this is that kind of transit. I will say Mars here is going to change your career also. You may get some idea about promotion, or at least you may get some insights into how you can build your career. A short and sweet transit and can also resolve issues with your elder siblings. Lastly, for Pisces, this is going to be a Mars transit in your career house in Purva Ashadha Nakshatra. What a brilliant transit to build your career. It changes your destiny. It brings new ideas. It brings new flavor in the roles and responsibilities. And anyone who is struggling in career, this can be the time where you will be able to manage a lot of things, but under the guidance of Suryadev. That means you still need to manage the 6th house sun. You still have to accept that extra responsibility, that extra set of load that comes along with this victory. So this is a victory which comes at a cost. So for Pisces, Saturn's aspect on Mars may manage a damage, but Mars here really wants to win. Obviously, you will have to pay the cost. Ensure that what you are exchanging for this victory, exchanging for the promotion, exchanging for that onset opportunity, what you are exchanging, what are you trading off? Few things that you should not trade off is your health, your family's peace, and your own mental peace. This is the time to focus more on victory, winning, doing things that actually helps you reach the path of victory, but also focusing greatly on your overall health. People who are in the muscle building sports, or if you sell protein or sports product, you will see great boost in your career.